Hey guys, it's Kanghouly here on the Alliance Midgard server. Today I'll be going over episode 3 in my RBG series, learning how to ninja cap. This includes setting up CC chains with multiple people, as well as going over key spells to look out for. This works for almost every class, and is an integral part for RPG strategy. I'll be doing this in a podcast style format, so if you want to tab out and continue questing, that's totally cool with me. I'll have some cool snippets and gameplay featured in the video as well, but as always, thanks for your time. Let's run through all the abilities available to support 2v1 capping or cap out by yourself. Going through the list for ninja capping, warriors have Intimidating Shout, Stormbolt, DKs have Blinding Sleet, paladins have Repentance if they talented into it, Hodge, shamans have Hex, Gap Totem, hunters have Trap, Binding Shot, Scatter Shot, and Explosive Trap, rogues have Sap, Mark of Death Kidney Shot, Blind. Demon Hunters have a Short Stun, Imprisonment, Illidan's Grasp. Monks have Paralysis, Leg Sweep, and Ring of Peace. Boomkins have Cyclone and Beam Root. Mages have Polymorph, Dragon's Breath, and Ring of Frost, Frost Nova. While Priests have Fear and Mind Control. Warlocks have Mortal Coil, Fear, and Succubus Charm. Going over CC breakers that we have to look out for, it's going to be the Warrior's Berserker Rage, which gets them out of Sap. It's DK's AMS, which absorbs magic abilities, Lichborn, which gets them out of Fear, their Ghoul Pet, Icebound Fortitude, which gets them out of stuns, Necrotic Limb, which is an AoE 20-yard range grip, and their pet Abomination. Paladins have their 5-minute bubble, their 3-minute bop, which can be used to get out of Sap, and Hand of Sacrifice, to kind of transfer damage in case they get blinded. Hunters, they have their pets, they have Flare, Freezing Trap, Camouflage. They also have Turtle Stance, where they're ignoring all damage, and Feign Death, which gives them a huge shield. Shamans have their wolves, as well as totems like Capacitor and Earthen Elemental. Rogues have Cloak of Shadows, which removes their damage abilities. They have Evasion to dodge melee attacks. They have Vanish, which gets them out of roots and re-stealths them. And they have Soothing Darkness, which heals them the longer they're staying in stealth. Monks will have their 3 Spirit Clones, as well as Zuen. Guardian Druids will have Berserk, in tandem with the legendary that grants them 30 seconds of immunity for the duration, as well as Treants. Shadow Priests will have Shadowy Apparition, which spawn based upon shadowy dot damage. Mages will have their pet, Ice Block, and Blink, which gets them out of stuns. And Warlocks will just have their pet. It's also worth mentioning that for Demon Hunters, with Immolation Aura, they can use that to kind of absorb incoming CC. Immolation Aura allows you to break and disrupt flag captures even if you're currently in CC, except for Cyclone. What's important when we're looking at Ninja Cap is taking into account all the defensives that the base sitter has available. They always will have Trinket, or they'll have Relentless. They'll always have 1 or 2 more additional ways out. If you're capping on a Warlock, you have to CC both the pet and the Warlock, or alternatively you have to kill the pet. If you're looking for a Shadow Priest, you need to be mindful of the dots on you and maybe look to cleanse them off ahead of time. If you're going for a Demon Hunter, you have to make sure you get his Trinket and that you wait out Immolation Aura. All of this is important to keep in mind because it can be used on almost every map. Things like Arathi Basin, Eye of the Storm, Seething Shore, Deepwind Gorge. The idea behind this is that if you can't kill them within 10 seconds, it's almost always easier to set up a CC chain. Similar to arenas and setting up goes for kill targets, you're setting up cross CC so that you can go capture the node. After that, it becomes survive, stop them from capping the flag, and kite it out. Okay, going over the first clip, we have Seething Shore. Right now is looking that we have the Shaman capping by himself and the Rogue somewhat close nearby. Devil Fruit, the enemy Disc Priest, is going to come in range. We're looking to blind because we see currently he has Trinket up in 90 seconds, or 94 seconds rather. Additionally, we're going to sap out of that and rotate the Rogue to Tar Pits. In a 2 versus 1 situation against the enemy Demon Hunter tank, we really don't have the capability to kill him. However, we notice his Trinket's up in 9 seconds, we have potential to make a play here for the cap. I outfield our Rogue and look to Hex. From there, we get the cap or at least force his Trinket, which comes up momentarily. We get Trinket, immediately blind, and pick up the cap. From there, our objective switches to where can we rotate to reinforce. Back on Eots, we have a 1 versus 1 situation between me and the enemy team's Prop Paladin. Now, we're being mindful of 3 things: his bubble, his Trinket, and potentially Ashen Hollow. Ashen Hollow currently disrupts flag caps, as well as the other 2 getting him out of the hexes. A full hex, forcing bubble, and immediately look to retreat. using the movement speed, defensiveness, and HP regeneration from Spirit Wolf that it provides. We're also trying to sync this up with the rest of our team so that we draw pressure away from mid and don't get collapsed upon. Now, Hex is back up, they're off DR, and we're regrouping to push into mid. We go back in knowing that the Prop Paladin's trinket's down. We land a Cap Totem stun into another trinket, and we secure the cap here. Now we're communicating to our Mage Tower saying, hey, our tank, we want you to ghost Mage Tower and push into Reaver. From there, the tanks will just 1v versus 1. It's again another 1 versus 1 situation against the Prop Paladin tank. We're going to go ahead and drop a Cap Totem to look for a stun, get the Hex, force his bubble. We see his drink coming up in 6 seconds, so we're communicating to our Warlock who just respawned, Lilith. We're saying, hey, do you have Fear or your Succubus pet available? We're calling for Fear. Fear goes through. He trinkets that. And now we just wait for the Hex CR. Hex is available in 3 seconds because we're looking at our add-on on the right side. We land a full Hex here, and we secure the cap. After that, we leave the Warlock behind, let them sustain against the 1 versus 1 tank, and we generate more pressure. Now here, another situation where it's 1 versus 1 on the tank. We go Cap Totem to lead into the stun. That sets up a Hex. We're going to force a trinket here, and immediately our objective changes. We're not going to be able to kill any tanks. It's going to take too long and take too much resources. So all we're doing is we're surviving, generating pressure, and tagging out. We called for our rogue here uniquely to ghost Shrine and push into Ruins. From here, after I force the trinket from Hex, he lands a full blind into the cap steal. Back again on Eons, we have a 1 versus 1 on the enemy team's Demon Hunter. Immolation Aura is currently up, so we're waiting for it to drop down. Immolation Aura is off. We land a full Hex and force trinket. Instead, we disengage and kite, healing back to full, kiting it out. We re-engage one more time, landing a full Hex at max range, and securing the cap here once more. And as always, after we land the cap, we don't try to 1v1 any tanks, we just kite back and continue keeping them off the flag. Now with 3 bases, we call to rotate to defend these 3, and losing that first flag mid no longer is a threat to us. Our tank gets in range and starts spinning.